Namaskar. Good evening to all. A very warm welcome to all our viewers. Welcome to our today's evening session of the Virasat Talk program. Today is our 77th edition of the Virasat Talk program being organized by the Jain Heritage Research Academy, one of the academic wing of Heritage Society Patna. It is my great honor and pleasure to welcome distinguished and eminent speaker Dr. Neeru Misra, former director of ICCR. I welcome you, ma'am. Uh, she will be speaking today on the stylistic and artistic features of the Deogarh Jain temple, a very unique topic, and it will also give us glimpse of how the Jain temple complex and the artistic features of the very large Jain temple complex from Deogarh. Let me very briefly introduce Professor Neeru Misra for those who is joining us first time. Professor Neeru Misra ma'am has did her master's and doctorate from University of Allahabad. She is also the fellow of Royal Asiatic Society, London and Ireland. She has served earlier as director of Indian Council for Cultural Relations under Ministry of External Affairs. She has been the visiting professor at Manipur Cultural University in Imphal. She is also the head of the Department of Museology in one of the prestigious Maulana Azad Chair of the National Museum Institute, a deemed university in New Delhi. She taught history and population education at VES College, SNDT University in Mumbai. She has also served as the guest faculty to several academic institutions in India and abroad. She is also the national coordinator for United Nations Development Program and was involved in the promotion of cultural advocacy with UNESCO. She has also received multiple awards and fellowship from leading institutions of India and abroad. She is the recipient of Tagore Research Scholarship by the Ministry of Culture under the Tagore National Fellowship for Cultural Research Scheme. She is also the recipient of fellowship from US government, a sponsored Cultural Heritage Institute for South Asia Award to the Smithsonian Museum Institutions, Washington DC and University of Wisconsin. She is also she has also received fellowship for Women's Leadership program from Bangkok and has also been especially invited and chaired a session at the first Bali World Cultural Forum, annual forum organized in Bali in Indonesia. She has also convened and organized several academic conferences related to women studies, Indology, Buddhism in East Europe, Central Asia, and Southeast Asia. She has delivered several public lectures and curated exhibitions. She has authored 9 books, and her works has widely been published in reputed national and international journals. She has also worked on rare manuscripts, including Krishna in Indian Arts, one of her books. She is also a member of several leading organizations and institutions of India. She is member of Academic Council at PL Institute of Indology in Delhi. She is advisor at Posas Art Delhi, advisor at Sarvati Society for Promoting Northeast Culture. She is also a life member of INTACH and at other institutions of India International Center and India Habitat Center. She is also a member of Indian Art History Congress, Indian History and Culture Society, Museum Association of India. Definitely, Madam has such a long series of experience that if we continue speaking, it will take so much of time. She has traveled widely all over in India, in Southeast Asia, in Europe. So we will learn many more things from her experience. So without taking much time, I would now request Madam Speaker to begin the session. Thank you, ma'am.
Namaste and thank you very much. And very good evening to all the distinguished audience, listeners from India. And I have also been informed that there are some overseas scholars, esteemed scholars who are online with us. So for good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are located. And I also wish you the season's greetings, and which is in the offing now, which is on going activities along with the COVID precautions and everything. So in spite of the COVID going on, the pandemic, I'm very grateful to organizers for giving me this opportunity. I express my gratitude to Heritage Society and Jain Heritage Research Academy, Patna, for extending me this moment to speak and share with you all today about the stylistic and artistic features of Jain temples at Deogarh, which is located near Jhansi, Bundelkhand area rather, in Uttar Pradesh. The science and art of temple architecture in India have very profound foundations, and most of these principles have been described in several variations of over our ancient treatises like Shilpa Shastra and Vastu Shastra. And in Indian temple architecture, the aesthetic independence has been encouraged, particularly in Deogarh, where Shilpi and the artists have taken lot of liberty in utilizing their terrain, their skill, along with the independence, and the patrons have not uh, given any constraint or any objections to their deliberations, and they have rather encouraged them. I'm very closely associated with Deogarh, and I get nostalgic whenever I talk, and I do talk lot about Jain temples of Deogarh. When I visited this place way back in early 60s when I was very small, and Lalitpur, which is the closest railway station from this place, I started my studies from that place, and my alma mater school is there. So here there is a map where you can see the location in India of Uttar Pradesh, and the, as we call it, the tiger's feet on the left side, which is in pink color. That's the place, Lalitpur. Next slide, please. And this is a closer look of the map. I'm showing you this Deogarh in the center, and Chanderi, Chandpur, Dudheri. These are all very close by, and the some areas of Madhya Pradesh, which is also very closely influenced by the same art in Gwalior and Khajuraho, where we get some Jain temples as well. So this is the area where this art flourished, and the artistic imprints we do get, and high degree of creativity and flexibility to the builders and to the artisans. Perhaps this is the reason that every edifice acquired a unique feature in this area within the broad architectural framework and the principles. The temple complex I have chosen today are the Jain temples, though we are very where we are very well aware of the Deogarh Dashavatar temple, or the Vishnu temple, the Gupta, the later Gupta period, the 5th and 6th century, the temple which is there, which is a prototype of the art which flourished in this area, along with the Nachna and the temple at Bhitargaon. So these are some of the examples which furthered and which gathered influences from the surrounding temples and surrounding art which was flourishing there. And the time frame which I'm covering in the Jain temple is from the 8th century to 7th century. As we all know that any monument, when it is made, it is in one time frame, though later on the layers of history keep covering it, keep adding, keep demolishing, and they keep move on. They move on, and along with the new additions and deletions. So this area, the temple complex, was also in the trade route of this place from north to east, and it was frequented by travelers, by many people time to time, and it was not in isolation that it was there. So it is 33 kilometers precisely from Lalitpur, which is the district headquarters, and 150 kilometers from Jhansi, where itself a lot of art was flourishing. Then Datia, Chanderi, which are all in the close proximity. The sculptural art of this region flourished from 6th to 17th century, as I said, and under the Gupta rulers, under the Kalchuris. Then we also find the Chandel influence, which was in Khajuraho, and then situated on the trading route between north and south, east and west. The Jain traders frequented this place regularly. Along with this trading center, this was also a place of Saraswat, or the education center, and where the learning and teaching was also simultaneously going on. The first report was published by Cunningham Sir in 1874-75, whom we are aware he's the person who did lot of excavations, and in archaeological dictionary, if we look at the temple architectural vocabulary, the name of Cunningham definitely comes. The later reports by P.C. Mukherjee and Dr. D.R. Sahani, the elaborate studies were made by U.P. Shah in 1955 and 59. A fuller study done by Klaus Brunn, a German scholar, and it was later on published in 1969. So some of the file pictures I have also taken from Klaus Brunn's book. And the best work I would suggest, if any student wants to pursue with this, and is of Professor Maruti Nandan Tiwari, which was published in the revised monograph in Hindi in 2012, and which is worth reading and gives a very good exemplary picture of Jain temples at Deogarh. A very good book, I would suggest. So on the left, what you are seeing is the township, and the straight road goes, and I've taken this picture from the Dharmshala, Deogarh Jain Dharmshala, which is down below, and which also takes care of the tourists and the guests who come here. And this whole area is under the protection of Archaeological Survey of India, and I must congratulate the good efforts done by Archaeological Survey of India, that it is in a very good shape. And I got the chance of visiting this place again last year in 2019 in March, and then again in May, before I had another talk at India International Center in Delhi. And I got this opportunity of visiting this place again and again, and every time I go, I get more passionate, and I get more emotional about the whole place there. So this, on the hilltop, what you are seeing was the Deogarh Fort, and within this fort, though the remains of the fort are hardly there except for one gate, the Kunjar Gate, and some ramp and some walls which are still there but in a ruin shape. Other than this, it also has some ancient caves, and also one Varah, which is there. So it's worth visiting the place. I'm also saying with the tourist point of view, it's worth visiting, and the road up to this place is very good. On the right side is the Deogarh temple, which is, as I said, has Vishnu, Puranic mythological scenes of the Shavatar, and it is based on the Sandhar Shaili, has a high plinth, or the Jagati, on which it is situated. It is also from the category of Panchayatan temple. As we can see, the four sides, their platforms are there, though the shrine is not there, but the some ruins indicate that it also had some shrines. So Panchayatan category, and this is the development, early development of the temple architecture. And it's the top, the shikhar, as we see, the garbhagriha is inside, and on the door jambs we have very beautiful decorated figures, which later on I'll be showing while I'm comparing some of the figures at the Jain temple. Please. So this is a gateway of the Dharamshala from where we go, and on the right side, this is the hilltop. From down below, you cannot make out. This is 300-meter high, and when you go up, you are really surprised to see what treasure it has preserved over the time, in spite of the weather conditions and the destruction which has been done in the medieval times. Down below on the right side is the river Betwa, which flows, and that must have been the reason for the ascetics or the sadhu and the acharyas to come there and stay there and impart the teaching. These are some of the different phases in which as I said, that addition to the temples were done. So I'm not deliberating, because different temples at different times were added on. So total right now there are 31 मंदिर यहाँ पर मिलते हैं, जिनमें पुरानी भी नंबरिंग की गई थी और नई नंबरिंग भी की गई है. Most of the temples have the icons right in place, लेकिन कुछ जब मैंने बचपन में देखे थे और उसके बाद लेट अर्ली 70s में देखे थे, तो काफी इधर उधर छितरे पड़े थे. बट नाउ दे हैव आल्सो बीन, दे ऑल हैव बीन वेरी वेल प्रिजर्व्ड and kept inside, and you will be surprised to see how they have been restored and how they have been put now into a gallery. There are two museums in this complex. One is ASI museum, site museum, which is on the hilltop, and then Sahu Jain Sangrahalaya is in the Dharamshala, which also has very rich collection of some of the Chaubisi, Jain Chaubisi, and some of the Chakreshwari, and one of the sculpture was also taken for international exhibition when the Festival of India was taking place abroad. So these are cognizance, or we call them lanchan, or the vehicles or the symbols associated with some of the Tirthankars, some of the Jain which sculptures we find within this complex. So they are easily identifiable, and one can easily find out all the details down below. This is the distribution of the images. The temples, as I said, that they are based on the Puranic sources, and they have been classified into 3 classes. We have Sandhar Shaili, which has a temple, the main shrine, which has the Pradakshina Path, or the where you can take a round around it, and it also has a Garbhagriha. Then Niradhar Shaili, without the Pradakshina Path, just the shrine is there and there is no Pradakshina Path over there. Then the third classified category is of the Sarvatobhadra, the 4 sides entry, and you can see the temple from all the 4 sides. It has the images. So here the temple which we will be talking about, I'll be rather discussing. I'm not discussing all the temples, but the main temple that is in the Sandhar Shaili, and the earliest temples, the remains, the evidences which we find were of timber, which was easy to carve. Wood carving was very profound in central India, particularly in Vidisha, and the same carvers were also cutting the stones. So then we find rock cut sites in Udaygiri near Vidisha, and then we have regular and independent construction of the temples. The first example, we find the temple 17 at Sanchi, where simple, without the shikhar, temple is there, and which is made of the stone. Then we have the Bhitargaon near Kanpur, some 50 kilometers from Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh, where we find the brick temples. So, and brick and then terracotta temples. So these are the development phases in which the temple building was taking place. The later examples are when art of sculpture also became profound along with structural art. The temple is the structure. So initially only the concentration was on the structure, but subsequently aesthetics joined and the ornamentation, which is the main topic of my talk today, how the ornamentation started taking place with the foliages, with the vegetation, and with the natural spirit, this nature spirits being converted, being personified into the human forms. So that I'll be discussing. And we find prototypes at Nachna and Kuthana and Devgarh temple, as I mentioned just now. And this is the site plan of the main temple, Shantinathji temple, which is the biggest temple in this area and is still venerated. People do come here, and it also has the abhilekh or inscription इसके अंदर में दिया गया है 862 AD का यहाँ पर प्राप्त होता है. और ये प्रॉपर टेम्पल बना हुआ है. कॉम्प्लेक्स के साइड में आप देख सकते हैं छोटे छोटे भी कई टेम्पल हैं. सो द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ टेम्पल्स, डिफरेंट साइजेस ऑफ श्राइन्स आर अवेलेबल इन दिस कॉम्प्लेक्स. और कई लौकिक दृश्य हैं यहाँ पर, जैसे दर्पण निहारती हुई महिला है, इस युवती है, नायिका है, अप्सरा है, आलिंगनबद्ध युगल दिखाई पड़ते हैं, कपल्स आर देयर. There are not many erotic sculptures, but they do exist, and I've been reading somewhere that it was mandatory to have in the temples earlier to put these in the jambs, pillar jambs or the door jambs. Different panels used to have different aspects of this. Then there are some सोशल इवेंट्स टेकिंग प्लेस. सामाजिक उत्सव भी हैं, नृत्य हैं, नायिका हैं, संगीत के वाद्य हैं जो यहाँ पर दिखाए जाते हैं. क्योंकि जैसे मैंने बोला कि सारस्वत प्रथा यहाँ पर थी, तो सरस्वती देवी यहाँ पर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. और हमको यहाँ पर उनके 5 स्कल्पचर्स और इंडिपेंडेंट सरस्वती और साथ में त्रितीर्थी के साथ में 2 तीर्थांकरों के साथ में भी मिलती है. तो ये इस बात की द्योतक है, इस बात को इंडिकेट करती हैं कि हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट सरस्वती वॉज. श्रुत देवी भी उनको कहा गया है, बिकॉज जो यहाँ का दर्शन है, जैन दर्शन है, आगम, उसको बहुत इम्पोर्टेंस दी जाती थी. और सरस्वती का वाहन मयूर भी दिखाया गया है यहाँ पर, जो संगीत नृत्य का एक बहुत ही बड़ा सामाजिक सूचक है. नृत्य के लिए मयूर जो है बहुत ही ज्यादा प्रसिद्ध है. मृदंग, वीणा, शंख इत्यादि मूर्तियों के साथ में गतिमय रूप में दिखाई जाते हैं. तो ये पूरा उसका प्लान है और इस तरीके से यहाँ पर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है. एक यहाँ पर जो इम्पोर्टेंट बात मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि यहाँ पर यक्ष और यक्षियां भी काफी मिलती हैं और एक क्षेत्रपाल मिलता है जो तांत्रिक प्रभाव के कारण जैन धर्म और कला में उसका मुख्य योगदान है. जैन साहित्य आचार दिनकर में इनका 64 योगिनियों का उल्लेख भी मिलता है. साथ ही क्षेत्रपाल जो मूर्ति अंकन में हमको यहाँ पर मिलता है. योगिनियों की हमें यहाँ मूर्ति अंकन में नहीं मिलती, यक्षियां मिलती हैं, जो प्रोफेसर तिवारी का भी वक्तव्य है. ये then and now what I am showing you on the black and white, I have taken the pictures from Klaus Braun's book, and you can see what state these temples were because of the natural calamities and also because of the destruction done during the medieval period. The Islamic rule was also there in Chanderi and the nearby area. So this is what it was, and this is what it is now when I visited last there. So this is a big temple, Shantinath temple on the left side, which is in a present condition. The picture has been taken from the second floor of temple 15, which is the only second floor temple here, like Khajuraho temple. And on the left side, the down below, we can see the Ardha Mandap and Mandap, which was used which is still being used for any function. Mahavir Swami's Jayanti is a very popular event here, and which is still people come and then spend a lot of time there. Next, please. The temples are in this temple is in the Nagar Shaili, and big Jagati is there, and this is Ardha Mandap, which has Toran, and this is 11th century addition to the temple. It was not there at that time initially. This has the temple has the Pradakshina Path. The temple also has the Garbhagriha. This Toran, I will show you some of the details. You can see on the next, please. The pillars are very richly ornamented, and they are jinn, they are snakes, entwined snakes. Then there is vegetation. Then there is a Jain Muni giving the gyan, imparting the knowledge. Then they are dancing position of the women, and there are some women standing in a tribhang, and also with the tirthankar. There are two women standing on the side. So very richly carved pillars we find in this particular small Ardha Mandap. The entrance is visible, very later period addition here, and it has Kalpavriksha, then it has Sarp, then it has Sadhu, Nartaki, and other vegetation, dancers, music, the material world and the spiritual world. They are both combined together. There is no distinction, there is no division between the material and the spiritual world. So that's what this educates us and gives us the information. So sadhana, when it was done in this particular place, it's a highest form of tyag, which we find in the Deogarh Jain temple here. Yet it also indicates that the quality of the sadhana comes out of when you have also seen and visited the material life. So many figures are there, and the couples are there. And behind this Toran, what you are seeing is, as what I mentioned, the only double story temple which is there, which also on the first floor has very richly carved door panels which are there, and also has Neminath and Mahavir Swami and Parshvanath figures there. This place also gives us the coordination and well coordinated and the syncretism of the Hindu art and the Jain art. Neminath is considered to be the cousin brother of Lord Krishna. So Krishna and Balram are always shown along with the sculptures of Neminath here. So this is the entrance of Shantinathji temple. Inside, what we are seeing is 18 feet, 0.3 inches tall icon, which is there, which is visible. And these are the door jambs. You can see the very richly carved. This place also became popular and was easy for carving purposes because it has surplus sandstone in balua पत्थर जिसको हम कहते हैं, और येलो कलर में एंड रेड कलर में इजीली अवेलेबल है. तो चिजलिंग आउट वाज मच इजी हियर. कई अधूरे यहाँ पर जो पूरे कंप्लीट नहीं करे गए हैं, ऐसे भी स्कल्पचर्स दिखते हैं. तो उसको देखकर लगता है कि यहाँ पर वर्कशॉप भी थी, एक अटेलियर भी था और सिखाया भी जाता था आर्ट को. और कई आर्ट यहाँ बनकर दूसरी जगह ट्रांसपोर्ट भी की जाती थी. It gives the picture. On the left and on the right side of the Shantinath ji sculpture are two yakshis, the same yakshi in fact. This is Ambika, I think, which is a finer version of Varnika, which is earlier mentioned in other uh, uh, periods. You can see on the top is the mango tree, which is there. Ambika Yakshi is always holding a baby, a child in the hand, and one child is holding the hand. She is holding one branch of mango in her hand, and her Vahan vehicle is lion, which is visible on the right side. Next, please. This is the final inside when you enter the Garbhagriha. The walls of the Garbhagriha, other than this, do not have any sculptures, but the Pradakshina Path outside has Yakshi's images. On top, on the right side, we can see the Ashtapratihari or the auspicious symbols which are there. The position of Shantinath ji is Kayotsarg. They are Dhyan Mudra, and this is the standing position of Dhyan is called Kayotsar. This is the highest position of sadhana, where you stand and then do the tapasya. Very slender figure. It gives the influence of the Gupta art, the figurative art what we have seen in Gupta period, and this form gives the impression of the highest renunciation of the body. No effect, hands are just dropping down. Some figure on the right and the left, you can see they are the Dikpals, and they are again in a very good Tribhang posture. You can see left tilt, the right tilt, and again the legs are on the left tilt. So Tribhang position which is there. Then on the top, the Ashtapratihari, which I said, it has Vidyadhar, elephants throwing the flowers and elephants throwing the water, and the Mastakabhishek posture is there. Flying celestial beings are there. वेजिटेशन, अशोक के पत्र, अशोक के वृक्ष और अशोक के पत्र यहाँ पर अष्ट प्रत्याहार्य में बहुत ज्यादा यूज हुए हैं. मोस्ट ऑफ द तीर्थंकर्स हैव दिस. एंड त्रिछत्र है. द पैरासोल इज इन 3 फॉर्म्स. देन 2 अंबिका है, चामरधारी है, एंड इट्स all the figures are in a very stylized forms. They are not simply made, but highly stylized. You can see the Yagyopavit or the sacred thread, which is coming on the shoulder. Then also a stole coming on the left side of the body. The kundals have very intricate carvings. Nose has been chiseled out very beautifully, and the art gives a very highly impressive impression of the artists who were working here very dedicatedly, not because of the sect they belong to, because most of the temples we find belong to some sect or the religious purposes, but artists work, their religion is only the performance of the shilp. So shilpi here have worked very earnestly. So earrings, the thread, the stole, the headgear, which is on Ambika and which is also on the Dwarpal, can be seen, and it's very beautifully done. This is the Ashtapratihari, Trichhatra, the parasol which is there, the 2 elephants on the left side. This is a close-up picture I wanted to share with you. And then divine sound, Divyadhvani, which is there, the flyvis, Chamvar, which is there, Abha Mandal, the halo, which is there. Again, the Ashok tree offerings are there. Flowers offering from Pushpa Vrishti is taking place for the divine soul, and divine trumpet Divya Dundubhi is also being played for the divine Bhagwan Shantinath Ji. Shantinath Ji, when he was born near Hastinapur, his father was a king there, and epidemic was there, and lot of people were dying because of that. But the moment his birth took place, the situation was controlled, and all over Shanti was established. That's how his name was kept, Shantinath Ji. These are some of the themes which we get to see on the pillars entrance gate. We get to see on the pillars. You can see here on the left side, the big one sadhu is there, and one sadhak is washing the feet on the arrival of the sadhu. And down below, the figures have been broken, but their Ganga and Jamuna, they have been shown. And some of the places I'll discuss subsequently. They are in a very big form, not full human form, but in a higher form. And these are different narratives which are on the pillar and which have been carved. On top, some lion type of face or some animal face, person being given gyan by the sadhu who is sitting there. So these kinds of very close figures we get to see. Then there are two, there you can see the yugam, then the two women standing there, some musical instruments, and the carving is very, very minute and very intricate carving which we get to see. But in between the intervals of these small panels, lot of foliage has been used to cover it up. So as I said, that natural spirits have been, and the vegetation, the prosperity, the symbol of prosperity have also been used. The use of Ganga Jamna on the gate, the river personified as a female figure, have been given on the gate, that once you enter the temple, you purify yourself. That's the symbol, that's the iconographic feature which have been given in these temples. This is the outside of the temple, what we are seeing. The outside 24 yakshi of 24 Tirthankars have been given, and to break the monotony in between the sculptures, the perforated geometrical patterns have been created. A separate panel has been created, and this also, because behind this is the Pradakshina Path, so also gives the proper ventilation inside the temple. Even if it is congested, the proper ventilation will be given. As you can observe on the left side down below, the perforation designs are also all not symmetrical, they are also very different. So everywhere the artists have used their skill and their initiatives to create new places. So the outer walls have all Shasan Devata, we call them, or Yakshis. The names of each Yakshi has been written down below. And this temple can be compared with the Chaturbhuj temple of Gwalior, and according to Klaus Brun. The Yakshi have their Vahan. They have also been, or the mount or the vehicle, very clearly perforated zigzag pattern has been used here and there. During the intervals of this perforation, when the pillar is there, so temple bells have been carved, उकेरी गई हैं, मंदिर की घंटियां जो होती हैं, तो उससे एक बहुत डिवाइन सा जो है वो टच आ जाता है वहां पर, और मोनोटोनी को भी ये ब्रेक करता चलता है. एक ऐसे लगता है कि एक ब्रैकेट के अंदर, फ्रेम के अंदर इनको बनाया गया हो, इनको रखा गया हो. Now I'll be discussing the शिखर of the temple. टॉप पर जो आप देख रहे हैं वहां पर आई हैव गिवन द इंडिकेटर. शिखर के पास में एक पैनल दिया गया है जिसमें एक ध्यानस्थ मुद्रा में एक तीर्थंकर बैठे दिखाए गए हैं वहां पर, और उनके पास में दो युवतियां भी खड़ी हुई है. टॉप पर अमल का है और प्रॉपर शिखर का यहाँ पर डिस्क्रिप्शन जो है हमें देखने को मिलता है. दो द शिखर इज वेरी सिंपल, बट on top this figure gives a break and it becomes very decorative. This is west facing temple. East उस साइड में है और entrance जो है वो west के साइड में है. This is the second temple, जो second double story है, जहाँ से शांतिनाथ टेम्पल की पिक्चर्स जो थी वो मैंने ली थी. राइट साइड में आप जो देख रहे हैं ये अब मैं इसको बाद में डिस्कस करूंगी. पूरी लंबी वॉल है एल शेप में जिसमें 1000 images of तीर्थंकर्स हैव बीन प्लेस्ड. इसमें 3 चेम्बर्स हैं. इस डबल स्टोरी टेम्पल में 3 चेम्बर्स हैं, नीचे भी और ऊपर भी, और यहाँ पर कई तीर्थंकर्स के ध्यानस्थ मुद्रा में उनके बैठे हुए स्कल्पचर्स हैं, मूर्तियां हैं. जो दरवाजे हैं, डोर हैं, उनके पैनल्स जो हैं वो बहुत ही रिचली कार्व्ड हैं. ये मैं बाद में डिस्कस करूंगी. जो सामने आप पिलर देख रहे हैं ये मान स्तंभ है और यहाँ पर 19 मान स्तंभ हमको मिलते हैं जो कुछ नीचे धर्मशाला में भी लाए गए हैं. ये 3 पार्ट्स में होते हैं. एक नीचे का पेडिस्टल होता है जिसके ऊपर मोस्टली यक्षियां और यक्ष उकेरे जाते हैं. बीच का जो पिलर का पार्ट होता है उसमें घंटियां हैं या कुछ ऐसे ही ज्योमेट्रिकल पैटर्न्स हैं. और जो टॉप है, शिखर जो है इसका, उसमें सर्वतोभद्र हैं चारों तरफ में. उसमें जिन उकेरे गए हैं, they have been sculpted so that they are blessing from all the side. I'll be discussing it separately. इसके जो दरवाजे हैं वहां पे 2 doors हैं on the ground level. They have again very delicately carved with navagraha, Ganga, Yamuna, along with their vahans, मकरवाहनी और नर्तकी के फिगर्स यहाँ पर देखने को मिलते हैं. गर्भगृह में बहुत ही सिंपल से चेम्बर्स हैं, वहां पर ज्यादा डेकोरेटिव नहीं है. शायद यहाँ पर कुछ पेडिस्टल्स भी ऐसे रखे गए हैं कि यहाँ पर आकर लोग ध्यान लगाते थे और अपनी जो तपस्या थी वो करते थे. इस वजह से अंदर के कमरे जो हैं वो बहुत ही सिंपल हैं. लॉर्ड महावीर स्वामी, लॉर्ड ऋषभदेव जी, लॉर्ड नेमिनाथ जी और बाहुबली और यक्ष और यक्षिया जो हैं वो वेल प्लेस्ड है यहाँ पर. बहुत अच्छे से थ्रोन्स के ऊपर, कुशन थ्रोन के ऊपर बनाई गई हैं, रखी गई हैं. एक सेकंड लेवल पे मार्बल का भी स्कल्पचर है जो शांतिनाथ जी का है. लगता है वो बाद में 1938 में शायद उसको वहां पर प्लेस किया गया था. ये दिस इज अगेन द वॉल विच आई वाज डिस्कसिंग विद यू. ये चारों तरफ जाती है, 1000 इस पे बने हुए हैं. और पेरिफेरल वॉल है और टेम्पल 12 की और टेम्पल 15 की, शांतिनाथ जी मंदिर की, और जो दूसरा डबल स्टोरी मंदिर है उसका. इसके आगे और इसके पीछे दोनों तरफ स्कल्पचर्स पड़े हुए लगे हुए हैं. और जब मुझे याद आता है जब मैंने यहाँ पर पहली बार अपनी विजिट करी थी तो एक ढेर से यहाँ पर बहुत सारे स्कल्पचर्स पड़े थे. इस वजह से मैं आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे का फिर से बहुत उनको बधाई देना चाहती हूँ जो जिस तरीके से यहाँ रेस्टोरेशन किया है और उनको बहुत अच्छे से रखा है. जो पेरिफेरल वॉल पर भी जो स्कल्पचर्स बने हुए हैं तो उनके ऊपर भी जो अष्ट महाप्रतिहार्य है, जो 8 सिंबल्स मैंने आपको डिवाइन सिंबल्स हैं वो बने हुए हैं. उसके अलावा जो मैं यहाँ पे आपको खास चीज दिखाना चाहती थी, द मेन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग, दैट ऑल द सीटेड फिगर्स हैव on the pedestal they have a cushion there. They have a throne cover, and each throne cover has a distinctive style, distinctive design. सबकी अपनी अलग डिजाइन है, सेम डिजाइन जो है वो वहां पर नहीं बनाई गई है. ये इसमें बहुत देखने लायक बात है. ये अगेन 1000 इमेजेस जो मैंने आपको बताई, ये काउंटेड है 1000, और इनफैक्ट पूरे कॉम्प्लेक्स में तो 2000 से ज्यादा स्कल्पचर्स हैं. बट ये जो वॉल है अपने आप में, ये जो है बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुली कार्व्ड है, और यहाँ पर बहुत अच्छे से भारत, बाहुबली, उन सब के भी फिगर्स हमें देखने को यहाँ पे मिलते हैं. एक जो मेन टेम्पल में इसमें अभी टाइम है ना, मैं डिस्कस करना चाहूंगी, वो है सहस्त्रकूट या लखपुतली टेम्पल. इसको बोलते हैं, ये सहस्त्रकूट जिनालय इसको भी बोलते हैं. चारों तरफ इसके डोर के जो पैटर्न्स हैं, तीन तरफ से तो ये बंद है, लेकिन बहुत उस पर पैटर्न्स बने हुए हैं, पिरामिडिकल स्टाइल में है. जो गर्भगृह है उसमें ये वाला प्लाक रखा हुआ है. ईच साइड ऑफ द प्लाक हैज 252 जिन मूर्ति, एंड टोटल यहाँ पे 1008 मूर्तियां इसके ऊपर, इस प्लाक के ऊपर सब तरफ से बनी है. सहस्त्र बिंब फिगर है, और all four sides are very beautifully decorated. Two sides are floral pattern, and they are open from one side only, again from the पश्चिम वेस्ट साइड. एंड पीछे जो आप शिखर देख रहे हैं, वो शिखर जो है वो शांतिनाथ टेम्पल का है, और ये उसके जस्ट बाहर गेट के पास में है. जगती है, उससे एंटर करते हैं. सर्वतोभद्र स्टाइल है. दिस इज द एडवांसमेंट ऑफ चौमुखी, which was very popular in Kushan period, but here it is more profound and more advanced. ऊंची जगती है, नागर शैली का शिखर है, और सहस्त्रकूट चैत्यालय इसको बोलते हैं. सर्वतोभद्र चौमुखी जिन मूर्तियां हैं जो कुषाण काल में काफी प्रचलित थी और काफी बनी थी. पूर्व में अलंकृत द्वार है इसके, और अब मैं आपको इसका क्लोजअप दिखाऊंगी, जिन पर गंगा, यमुना, अंबिका, चक्रेश्वरी, सरस्वती और नवाग्रह हैं. इसके अंदर में अभिलेख भी मिलता है, 5 अभिलेख हैं, पेट्रन का भी नाम है. और केंद्र में स्तंभ है, जो ये वाला जो स्तंभ था, ये जो बीच में दिख रहा है, ये 7 फीट जो है और 10 इंचेस का है, और 4 फीट चौड़ाई में है. पीठिका में प्रत्येक दिशा में सिंह बैठे हुए हैं, वो दिखाए जाते हैं. ये जो यहाँ पर ये गंगा का फिगर है, और यहाँ पर जो मकर वाहिनी उनका आप देख सकते हैं, यहाँ पर उसका मुंह खुला हुआ है. कई लोग कहते हैं मकर और फिश का कंबाइंड है. एक प्रोफेसर त्रिपाठी ने मुझे बोला ये शायद डॉल्फिन भी लगती है, इस पे और भी रिसर्च करी जा सकती है. ये यहाँ पर यमुना है, यहाँ टॉर्टोइज है. त्रिभंग जो मुद्रा है उसमें वो खड़े हुए हैं, और साथ में उनके 2 फिगर्स अटेंडेंट्स भी हैं. नीचे कल्प वृक्ष है, और उसको जल देती हुई कलश पकड़े हुए युवतियां हैं. On the left and on the right side, elephant and lion facing each other. They have been shown. The nature spirits here have been personified, and this development of personification of Ganga and Yamuna was taking place. And some more close up I will show you. This on the top, what you are seeing is Navagrah, and entrance gate has very well ornamented. Multiple patterns and symbols have been given there. Stylistically, even the small figures have not been devoid of the sophistication and the polish and the style which was prevalent during this time. Lakshmi and Saraswati are there on the right and left, and down below Ganga with the Makar, the Kalpriksh which is there, the Rahu and Ketu are shown on the top. Ketu within a snake head, and with the Rahu and with the folded hands within the snake head, it is there. Rahu on the half figure, which is there, which is in the Tarpan position. Surya is the only graha which is sabang, which is standing straight. Rest all other graha, other 8 graha are in a 7 graha rather, they are in a tribhang position. And in center, the Jin figure in a seated position, Dhyanast Mudra has been shown. This you can see the Rahu. This is another detail inside the Sahasraput. This is the plaque which has 252 Jin Murti on each side, and total it becomes, the height is 7 feet and 10 inches, and total 1008. That is how it gets its name of Sahasra Kut temple, which is a small temple but a very, very good temple. Here I would like to show you that the Parshnath ji, whose lanchan is snake, the variation of snake in different forms, I'll be discussing later on. On the right, what you are seeing is Bharat Muni with the Navanidhi, the pots which are there standing next to him. And on the left side is Bahubali. I'll be showing you more closely Bahubali in another temple. This is the second double story temple I discussed with you. And on this Manistambh, the 4 sides on the lower pedestal are Padmavati, Rohini, Chakreshwari, and Ambika. These yakshis have been shown with their vehicles, with their vahans, and with their mount. Chakreshwari and Ambika, very profuse use has been done here, and Chakreshwari has been shown with Garun as Vahan, and it also depicts that Vishnu influence, Vaishnav influence has also been imbibed in the sculptural art, and this is a pratik of Shakti which has been used. That is why the chakra, shank, gada are always in the hand. There is also one Chakreshwari with 20 hands, one with 24 hands, and this is a Vaishnavi which has been converted into Chakreshwari, and different positions of Garuna has been shown from time to time in the figures. Padmavati is a yakshi of Parshnathji, and she has the snake also on the top as a hood, which we can see. So that's how when we study these, and we can identify Kukkut snake, Kukkut Sarp as a mount. It said that with Parshnathji, when he was in meditation, so his earlier birth cousin was troubling him, and as a Meghmali, and at that time, the Kukkut king of Sarp and his wife Padmavati gave the shelter and their hood to while he was meditating, and sheltered him, and that's how this hood has been used along with Padmavati. Rohini has been shown with a cow, and Ambika, as I discussed, Ambika is and the Kshetrapal on the top. So Ambika is with the child and the mango leaf, and Kshetrapal is standing on with a dog. So Kshetrapal is mostly with the dog there. This is Chaubisi on the left. There are 24 jinn who have been shown in one plaque or one tablet. This is kept in the museum, and very beautifully. Chaubisi was very popular at that time. So all the Tirthankars with the 3 chhatra, you can see the 3 layered parasol on the top is there, and also along with the attendants down below. The center is the Sarvatobhadra, the four sides, the Jin Murti are there. They are blessing all over. So this is how the Shikhar or the top, the third level of the Manistambh was made. And they're very beautiful Manistambh in the complex. And down below, this is a smaller one, this is a higher one. So the top part is this, which I have taken a closer look here. And on the ground level, the first pedestal has the Chakreshwari and Padmavati and Ambika and Rohini on the four sides. There are also some of the Manistambhs which have Upadhyay and Acharya, again indicating and emphasizing, giving importance कि ये स्वाध्याय की जगह थी, एक शिक्षा का केंद्र था, तो वहां पर आचार्य का भी जो है सर्वतोभद्र की जगह पर ऊपर टॉप लेवल पर उनकी इमेजेस को बनाया गया है. बीच में टेम्पल की बेल्स जो हैं वो हैंग करी है, जो उसको काफी ब्यूटीफुल लुक प्रदान करती हैं. मान स्तंभ हमको कुषाण काल में भी मिलते हैं, गुप्त काल में भी उनके एग्जाम्पल्स मिलते हैं. मान स्तंभों की पीठिका जो है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती थी और उस पर कुबेर के भी हमको मिलते हैं जो चित्र है, और गौमुख यक्ष भी हमको वहां पे मिलते हैं. बहुत ऑर्नामेंटेड मान स्तंभ बनाए जाते थे, और ये मान स्तंभ इसलिए भी थे कि प्रतिष्ठा प्रदान करते थे स्थान को और तीर्थंकरों की प्रतिष्ठा को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए. ये एक छोटा टेम्पल है, बहुत शांतिनाथ लघु जिनालय, और इसमें टॉप पर इतने सारी चीजें कंबाइंड करी गई हैं. यहाँ पर आप क्लोजली देख सकते हैं, जो एक कपल्स दिखाए जाते हैं साथ में, ये तीर्थंकरों के माता पिता हैं. इनके भी कई जगह पर हमको स्कल्पचर्स मिलते हैं, वेरी ब्यूटीफुली कार्व्ड स्कल्पचर्स. एंड दिस अगेन वी कैन सी विद अष्ट प्रतिहार्य. और एक तरफ पार्श्वनाथ जी हैं जिसमें सांप का जो है आप देख सकते हैं हुड, और दूसरे में हुड बड़े हुए साथ हैं. एक सुपार्श्वनाथ है, एक पार्श्वनाथ है, तो वो दोनों यहाँ पर फिगर्स दिखाए गए हैं. और परफोरेटेड यहाँ पर जो पीठिका है उसके नीचे जो पेडिस्टल बनाया है वो परफोरेटेड है. दिस पार्ट इज टॉप ऑन टॉप हियर व्हाट यू आर सीइंग. एंड नीचे जो है वो नवाग्रह है, गंगा है, यमुना है. दिस टेम्पल्स लोकेशन इज हियर. ऐसे एक पतली सी सड़क वहां जाती है और वहां से हम वहां पर पहुंचते हैं. पिरामिडिकल शेप है शिखर का, नगर शैली में बना हुआ है, और मल्टीपल फिगर्स on two panels have been shown. There is Tritirthi, what you are seeing here. Then Jin Mata Pita on top. Then Yaksh, Yakshi, Dharm Chakra, Sarvanubhuti, or Kuber is on the bottom here. Sarvanubhuti. Then Yaksh है वहां पर, अंबिका है, ध्यानस्थ मूर्ति में नेमिनाथ जी हैं. ऑन टॉप ये पार्श्वनाथ जी और सुपार्श्वनाथ, जैसे मैंने बताया. आर्टिस्ट हैज यूज्ड हिज इमेजिनेशन इन मेकिंग त्रिछत्र विथ कुक्कुट सर्प हियर. The serp which I mentioned to you, which is always giving protection. So ये जो साइड में दिखाई पड़ रहे हैं ये कुक्कुट सर्प का है. और ड्रम बीटर ऑन टॉप अष्ट प्रतिहार में, ये भी एक नया एडिशन है. आप देख सकते हैं द ढोलक जो है वो बिल्कुल बीच में रखी गई है यहाँ पर. ये उसका क्लोजअप है, ये पद्मावती, और जो पेडिस्टल है यहाँ तक पद्मावती का जो है स्नेक जो है वो यहाँ पर दिखाया जा रहा है. This I wanted to share on the two on the left side. This I have taken from Dr. Brown's book. ये ऋषभ देव जी के स्कल्पचर्स हैं यहाँ पर, और who is the आदिनाथ और the first तीर्थंकर. जब इनको वैराग आया तो इन्होंने इनके पिता चाहते थे, ये बहुत सोशल वर्कर थे, इन्होंने बहुत सोशल काम किया. पिता चाहते थे इनके पूरा राज्य चलाए, लेकिन इंद्र ने कहा कि ये दुनिया में दूसरे काम के लिए आए हैं, तो उनको वैराग दिलाने के लिए नीलांजला नाम की डांसर थी जो अपना बिल्कुल अंतिम पल में थी, तो उसको भेजा और डांस देखते देखते ही वो वहां पर गायब हो गई। तो इंद्र ने दूसरी डांसर को नृत्य के लिए भेजा, लेकिन तब तक ऋषभ देव जी को डिस्टरबेंस हो गया था और उन्होंने कहा लाइफ की क्षणभंगुरता इतनी है, तो वो वहां पर चले गए। जब बाल कटाने लगे तो उनके पिता ने कहा तुम इतनी जल्दी वैराग लोगे, तो एक लट बाल की उन्होंने छोड़ दी। चतुर्मुष्टि लुंचन उसको बोलते हैं, बाकी जितने तीर्थंकर हैं उनका पंच मुष्टि लुंचन है, सारे बाल निकले। तो ये एक बहुत ही पिक्यूलियर चीज यहाँ पर ऋषभ देव की दिखाई पड़ती है। इनके एक लट जो है बालों की वो हरदम बहुत ही आर्टिस्टिकली दिखाई पड़ती है। ऑन द राइट साइड इज द पार्श्वनाथ स्कल्पचर वेयर एज आई सेड स्नेक has been कुक्कुट सर्प जो उनका छत्र बनकर, उसकी भी बहुत ही डिजाइन यहाँ पर अलग अलग तरीके से की गई है। ये एक जिन माता टेम्पल है एंड मैं कंपैरिजन दिखाना चाहती थी। ये जो विष्णु टेम्पल था, दशावतार टेम्पल जिसको कहते हैं, जो नीचे है हिलॉक से गुप्ता पीरियड का, जहां पर डोर के पैनल के ऊपर एक छोटा सा प्लाक है, छोटा सा पैनल है जहाँ पे अनंत शाही शेष नाग के ऊपर विष्णु जी लेटे हैं। तो जिन माता इस मंदिर के अंदर दिखाई गई हैं, और जिन माता का भी जो स्टाइल ऑफ लाइंग डाउन है, रिक्लाइन करना है, वो काफी कुछ इस गुप्ता आर्ट से मिलता हुआ है। बिकॉज शी इज अ रॉयल क्वीन, सो द अटेंडेंट्स आर ऑन अ साइड, पैरों में आलता लगा रही हैं। ऊपर सारे 24 सब जिन दिखाए गए हैं बिकॉज शी इज अ जिन माता ऑफ ऑल द तीर्थंकर्स, एंड डाउन बिलो बिकॉज ऑफ द रॉयल्टी द एलिफेंट एंड द लायन हैव बीन shown to show. Inside there is a toran and a kichak figure inside the temple, and there are temple bells in between. It has a very beautiful image of Dhyan Mudra of Parshvanath ji. This is one thing. This may be my one of the last slides which I wanted to share. As I said, Saraswat, because of the Saraswat tradition, teaching tradition, here Saraswati has been given independent place in the complex. On the right side, a human-sized figure of goddess Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, music, and art, and has been referred in early Jain scriptures as Shrut Devata, the god of wisdom and intellect. इसको मैं एक लाइटर मोड में आपको बताना चाहूंगी कि लक्ष्मी और सरस्वती के जो दो फिगर्स हैं, ये लक्ष्मी के, ये 2 बार चोरी के लिए अटेम्प्ट किए गए, और बाद में एक बार इटावा में, एक बार दूसरी जगह कहीं पर ये प्राप्त किए गए. Here the importance of Saraswati is she has been shown, depicted along with the Tirthankar. So it is Tritirthi where goddess Saraswati has been given a place along with Rishabh Dev and Ajit Nath Ji, and this is a Sambhav Nath Ji's sculpture, which is in the temple number 1. When you enter, you will find it. And beautiful, well sculpted figure, beautifully ornamented figure, very nice headgear, very good earrings, and the neck piece, which you can see, and on the side also, very good ornamentation. So the style which the Shilpi have adopted here is very unique and very different, and a lot of independence has been used by them, by the artist here. This is a Panch Parmeshti, or the main 5 divine, as I would say, the Arhat, the world teacher, the Siddh, the liberated soul, Acharya, chief preceptor, Upadhyay, preceptor, and the Sadhu, which are the stages here. So here you can see the Acharya who is sitting there. These are the Upadhyay and the Sadhus sitting down, and they are in the argument or the discussive, the mode of discussion is taking place. This is a Pitika where the Pustak is kept and they are in the study mood which is going on here. This is, as I said, the Chakreshwari has very important role to play here. So this is Chakreshwari Yakshi of Rishabh Devji. It reflects the syncretism of Vaishnav symbolism of Shakti. In both Vaishnavism and Jainism, the deity adorns Chakra. These 20 armed sculptures are unique collection of Deogarh and hold Shankh, Gada, Hetak, etc. And Garud, the vehicle, both the sculptures you can see the sitting posture is so differently made. It's kept in the Sahu Jain Sangralaya down below. This is Bahubali temple, and Bahubali, if you have to identify, you will always identify Bahubali because 1 year he was doing the tapasya in Kayotsarg position, standing position. So lot of creepers came, उनको काफी वल्लरियों ने शाखाओं ने बांध दिया, सर्प बिच्छू उनके शरीर के ऊपर आ गए, लेकिन उन्होंने अपनी तपस्या नहीं ब्रेक करी और वो वैसे ही तपस्या करते रहे. तो ये भी बाहुबली, ये भी बाहुबली. जब भी बाहुबली देखेंगे तो उनके बॉडी के ऊपर क्रीपर्स जरूर होंगे. छोटा सा मंदिर है, शिखर नहीं है इसके, लेकिन बाहर बहुत ही अच्छा ऑर्नामेंटेशन है. ऊपर नवाग्रह बने हुए हैं, राहु केतु, और यहाँ पे सबंग पोजीशन में सूर्य, और यहाँ पर वेजिटेशन बनाया गया है जो प्रॉस्पेरिटी का इंडिकेट करता है. और नीचे जो है वो गंगा जमुना है यहाँ पर, और ये क्लोजअप है उस नवाग्रह का. और यहाँ पे अगेन एलिफेंट हैज बीन शोन देयर. ये भी बाहुबली, और ये भरत मुनि है. भरत मुनि क्योंकि चक्रवर्ती थे, उनके भाई थे बाहुबली के. टाइम की कमी होने की वजह से मैं उनका आपको कहानी नहीं सुना पा रही हूँ. ये नवनिधि जो है उनके पास रखी हुई हैं. बाहुबली की 6 मूर्तियां पूरे कॉम्प्लेक्स में हमको मिलती हैं. उनको फर्स्ट साधक भी बाहुबली को कहते हैं. और आफ्टर his tapasya, because of the war which his brother Bharat had initiated, he went for the tapasya, और उन्होंने फिर कैवल्य को अपने को प्राप्त कराया. उसके त्रितीर्थी है यह, तो बाहुबली को त्रितीर्थी के साथ में स्थान मिला हुआ है. और उनको जो लिटरेचर है, जैन लिटरेचर है, उसमें भी बहुत हाई पोजीशन से उनको बोलते हैं. समय की कमी को देखते हुए मैं आपसे यहाँ पर विदा लेना चाहूंगी. और while thanking you for giving me this opportunity, I would also like to use this time to wish all my listeners, all the scholars who have been associated, who joined us, a very happy season's greetings and very happy new year. And thank you so much. Om Swasti Astu.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for the very interesting and very informative presentation. It is indeed our pleasure to have such a very informative lecture on the temples of Deogarh. I hope I may get a chance to visit all the temples in near future. We have received, ma'am, a couple of questions, one or two from Manmohan Sarma sir. If you allow me, we can take the questions, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Thank you, ma'am. So we have one question. We have a first question from Manmohan Sarma ji. Sir is asking, श्री DN झा का कथन है कि देवघर के जैन मंदिरों का निर्माण बौद्ध अवशेषों पर किया गया है. क्या आप इस राय से सहमत हैं?
इस कॉम्प्लेक्स में जैसे मैंने कहा कि कुछ केव्स हैं, कुछ रॉक कट शेल्टर्स हैं जो बौद्ध भी हैं, लेकिन जैन मंदिरों में ऐसा कुछ अवशेष नहीं मिलता जिसको हम कहेंगे कि ये बौद्ध है. लेकिन इस हिलॉक के ऊपर जो बहुत बड़ा सा ये देवगढ़ फोर्ट था, इसके पास में काफी दुर्गम है उन बुद्ध गुफाओं में जाना। मैं नहीं गई, मैं बाकी जो और दूसरी केव्स है मैं उसमें गई थी, लेकिन इसमें बुद्ध वालियों में एक में ही मैं गई जो एक नीचे जाकर घाटी पड़ती है वहां पर। बाकी बुद्ध की है यहाँ पर कई केव्स हैं, लेकिन वो रॉक कट है और ये टेम्पल बिल्डिंग है, तो अवशेष तो उनके मैं नहीं कहूंगी, लेकिन हाँ वहां पर चिन्ह हमें जरूर देखने को मिलते हैं। दिस इज दिस इज अ लेटर स्टेज ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, एज आई सेड 862 का पहला हमको यहाँ पर वो मिलता है इंस्क्रिप्शन, जब मंदिर बनना शुरू हुए। और बुद्ध के जो है वो काफी पहले के हैं। गुफाएं हैं डेफिनेटली यहाँ पर, वैष्णव, जैन और बुद्ध तीनों हैं। एक बात मैं कहना भूल गई, जो मैं जब जैन टेम्पल के बारे में, देवगढ़ के बारे में बात करती हूँ, कि 1 घंटे में मेरे लिए गागर में सागर भरने की जैसी बात है। मैं इतना ज्यादा इमोशनल हो जाती हूँ कि मैं न्याय नहीं कर पाती हूँ उस स्थान के लिए। और हर बार मैं हर टॉक में ये कहती हूँ कि इस जगह को, इसको यूनेस्को का वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट के लिए जरूर नामांकित करना चाहिए, जरूर हमको रिक्वेस्ट जरूर भेजनी चाहिए। और बहुत अच्छे से रखा हुआ है, सबको यहाँ जरूर जाना चाहिए, जाने के साधन भी काफी अच्छे हैं।
निश्चित रूप से मैम, ये इस साइट की, इस स्थल की, इसकी व्यापकता, इसकी आध्यात्मिकता, इसकी विशालता को देखते हुए निश्चित रूप से वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट के रूप में नामांकित किया जाना चाहिए। और मैं अपने दर्शकों से भी कहूंगा कि वो इस जगह को एक बार भ्रमण करें। मनमोहन शर्मा सर की तरफ से 2 प्रश्न और थे। एक प्रश्न उनका था, पर्वत पर जो गुफाएं, क्या उनमें से कुछ बौद्ध हैं या सभी जैन हैं? संभवतः इस प्रश्न का उत्तर उन्हें प्राप्त हो गया होगा। एक अन्य प्रश्न था, यहाँ से ये जो भव्य वाराह मूर्ति चोरी हुई थी, क्या उसका कोई सुराग मिला है?
इसके ऊपर मेरी चर्चा हुई थी आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे के वहां पर जो नियुक्त थे, वहां पर उनसे बात हुई थी। और अभी उसका, जब हम गए थे तो उस वक्त निर्माण हो रहा था उस स्थान का, और जो खंडित अवस्था में है, क्योंकि इतनी बड़ी वराह की मूर्ति है, उसको पूरी ले जाना संभव नहीं था, तो उसको उन्होंने तोड़ा हुआ था। तो सुराग उसका, इसके ऊपर मैं नहीं ज्यादा बोल पाऊंगी क्योंकि मेरी उस पर चर्चा नहीं हुई। हाँ, लक्ष्मी और सरस्वती का जरूर उन्होंने बताया था कि 2 बार चोरी हुई और इटावा में प्राप्त हुई। और इसका भी आसपास यूपी में इसी स्थान पर वराह वाली मिली थी, लेकिन उसके ले जाने वाले कौन थे, क्या थे, उसका मुझे नहीं है ज्ञान।
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We have received many more comments, and there were many people who were live with us during the whole session. We have no more questions right now. So at the end of this session, I would like to convey vote of thanks on behalf of Heritage Society and on behalf of myself. First of all, thank you to Professor Neeru Misra, ma'am, for joining us today and taking out time to aware us from this wonderful heritage from Deogarh. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks to all the members and followers and Virasat Mitra of Heritage Society who always supports us in promoting our academic endeavors. I would like to express my profound gratitude to also to our Director General Dr. Anandasu sir and Srimati Manita Pandey ma'am for organizing this wonderful series of Virasat Talk program, and for all of us heritage lovers, this Virasat Talk program is indeed a boon for us to get benefited from all the different heritage sites of India and abroad. I also would like to express my vote of thanks to all the audience who was live with us in this whole program. We have ma'am, almost 80,000 of active followers from various parts of India and abroad. I thank all of them for joining us in this program. Thanks to all of you. Have a great evening. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.